Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It's Luther, and today we're diving into a topic that shaped a huge part of my early life, and honestly, my entire perspective on work, responsibility, and growing up. My first jobs. I'm talking about the jump from school to the real world, the feeling of earning your first dollar, and the profound lessons those early experiences teach you, even the ones you absolutely hate. So grab a snack, settle in, and let's get into it. When I was in high school, juggling classes, friends, and the general teenage angst, I had my first real job. It wasn't delivering pizzas or scooping ice cream, it was working with my dad in his small printing and design company. Think small business, just the two of us. It was tucked away in an industrial park, smelling faintly of ink and paper dust. My job? Anything and everything that needed printing. Photo development and printing, cutting and weeding vinyl stickers for businesses, laminating huge banners and setting up the machinery. I worked there after school and during breaks, and I have to be honest with you all, I hated it. It wasn't that the work was physically hard, though carrying those big rolls of banner material was a workout. It was the monotony. Day in, day out, the same sequence of tasks. I would stare at the massive printer, watching it lay down colors line by line, thinking about everything else I could be doing. Working with your dad is a whole other level of complexity. At home, he's dad. At work, he was my boss. He was tough, demanding precision, and he expected me to be faster, sharper, and more responsible than any other employee because I was his son. It was frustrating. I often felt like I couldn't mess up, and the professional distance we were supposed to maintain would sometimes melt away into old family arguments. There were days, usually when I was completely exhausted from school and work, that I'd snap. I'd let out all the frustration about the job, about my school life, about feeling trapped. But those were rare, explosive moments. Most of the time, I just kept my head down and worked. I knew, deep down, he was doing his best to teach me something invaluable. But when I left the shop every day, I felt drained, and frankly, like I wasn't heading toward the future I wanted.
Fast forward a bit. I've finished high school, and now I have a completely different job. I'm a trainee at an engineering company, a relative's business, and most of my work is done remotely, online. This job is a world apart. Instead of smelling ink, I'm immersed in data, software, and problem solving. Instead of working with heavy machinery, I'm working with complex models and calculations. I'm doing trainee-level tasks, basic stuff, but it connects directly to the career I want to pursue, engineering. The shift in perspective. The difference in my attitude is night and day. I wake up excited to log in. I'm actively engaged, always asking questions and eager to learn the next thing. This job feels like a true investment in my future, aligning perfectly with my ambition. This contrast between the two jobs made me realize something fundamental about work and personal growth. So, why am I spending time talking about printing photos and engineering data? Because these two experiences are the reason I believe every young person, every teen, should actively seek out a job. And it's not just about the money.
In my dad's print shop, every penny I earned felt heavy. I learned the equation, X minutes of hard work equals Y dollars. When you're spending money earned by your parents, it's abstract. When you buy something with money you sweated for, you ask, was this video game, shirt, ticket worth 5 hours of cutting vinyl? That's a fundamental shift in understanding value and curbing impulsive spending. My dad's job taught me one of the hardest lessons, grit and responsibility. On the days I felt sick, hungover, or just overwhelmingly tired, I still had to show up. Not because it was fun, but because my dad needed me and the work had a deadline. Learning to perform when your motivation is zero is a crucial skill for adult life. It's the difference between being reliable and being a liability. The print shop was my living example of a job I did not want for my future, and that's a powerful realization. It fueled my desire to pursue engineering. It made my current trainee job, which is challenging in its own way, feel like a privilege. The frustration in the print shop wasn't wasted, it was the pressure that shaped my ambition. It gave me a deep appreciation for the opportunities I have now. In school, your peers are all your age. At the print shop, I dealt with customers, Angry ones, picky ones, kind ones, and stressed out ones. I learned basic customer service, how to communicate deadlines, and how to deal with real-world problems that didn't have textbook answers. That interaction, learning to be professional and solve a problem for someone else, is what truly turns a kid into a contributing member of society. It's about maturing your social intelligence. My engineering job is fantastic because I like the field. My printing job was essential because it taught me to work, to endure, and to value the career path I fought for. Both jobs, the one I loved and the one I often resented, were critical building blocks. If you're a teenager watching this, or a parent of one, my advice is simple. Get a job. It doesn't have to be your dream job. It just needs to be a job. It will teach you to manage your time, respect authority, deal with frustration, and ultimately, it will make you a better, more prepared, and more well-rounded person. It's the fastest track to becoming the successful adult you want to be. All right, that's all I have for you today on the job front. I hope sharing these stories gives you some perspective on your own journey. What was your first job, and what's the biggest lesson it taught you? Let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.